Hello and welcome everyone to the third webinar of the Astrophotography webinar series organized by LIGO India, Stargazing with LIGO India, which we are organizing from 15 November until 15th of December. And so my name is Debarati Chatterjee. I am chair of Education and Public Outreach for LIGO India. It's my great pleasure to present to you today Rahul Zota, who is our speaker for today. So warm welcome to Rahul. Rahul has been doing photography as a hobby since 2011, when he started by capturing astronomical objects and nightscapes. But then his interest grew to fine art, nature photography, wildlife photography, and finally from 2015, he's a full-time photographer. He has founded Zotography. He's going to tell us more about it, and which has even commercial photography, such as architecture, interior, videography, drone photography, and much more. So Rahul is going to tell us about his experiences and adventures in astrophotography today. So Rahul, please take it away.
Thank you, Debbie, for inviting me. I'm going to share my screen. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahul Zota. I am from Bhuj and currently settled in Ahmedabad. Today, I will take you through my journey in astrophotography, and I will share some of my best clicks. I have been doing astrophotography since 2009. Before getting into astrophotography, I used to do visual astronomy. My interest in astrophotography started in 1999 when I was a kid. We used to sleep on terrace during summer days. That time I had 20 by 50 binoculars, which was gifted by my father. I used to scan the night skies with that binoculars, and uh, I stumbled upon many unusual objects that looked different from stars. Gradually, my interest grew, and after purchasing my first telescope in 2004, I mostly hunted for deep sky objects. It was really an amazing experience to find objects which are in the vicinity of my telescope's optical strength. After spending more years in visual astronomy, I somehow felt that I need to go further than visual astronomy. I witnessed many astronomical events like eclipses, meteor showers, conjunctions, transits, bright comets, etc., which I think I should have captured in my camera for a lifetime memory. During this time, I was also very active in visual comet hunting. I barely missed two comets visually. So I thought if I buy a camera, then it would be easier for me to capture more fainter comets, which I couldn't see even with my 10-inch telescope that I was using during that time. My first camera was a Panasonic point and shoot basic camera that I bought in 2009. It allowed me to take long exposure photos of the night sky. My first DSLR camera was the Canon 550D, which I bought in 2011. So here my first click. So here is my first click with that camera, in which you can see the rising moon with clouds and the famous hill of my city.
Rahul, is it okay if the participants stop you to ask questions about the photographs?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, great.
Here you can see some of my experiences with moon photography. These images were captured from a time lapse that I shot in 2011. Here is the picture of my first deep sky photography setup. On the far left side is the image of the comet 2000 C2012 K5 linear. In the center, you can see Orion's belt, which was captured using this setup. This image was created from 40 sub exposures and each exposure lasting for 30 seconds. Here is my first star trails image that I captured from my home's balcony. 50 photos were merged to create this image. This is the picture of transit of Venus, which that happened in 6 June 2012. This was my first major astronomical event after purchasing my first DSLR camera. It is always pleasure to see the moon through a telescope. I always wanted to take the detailed shot of lunar craters. So this image was clicked using my 10-inch Dobsonian telescope and a Canon 70D. I also used the 10x optical zoom of my camera. Sorry, 10x digital zoom of my camera, and I took a video of 20 seconds and then stacked it in Registech software. Here are my first clicks of Jupiter and Saturn. This was my first, this image of Jupiter and Saturn was captured using a 114 millimeter Newtonian reflector and a Canon 70D. This image of the conjunction of Moon and Venus was captured in 2016. I wanted to keep Prague Mahal Palace as a foreground object, which is the most famous palace in Bhuj city. We looked for some tall buildings around the palace for our shooting spot. We finally choose a guest house, which was exactly in the opposite direction, so that we can see the moon and Venus in the foreground.
So in that previous image, how did you manage to get both the city and the palace both illuminated, like along with the night sky?
Yeah, actually, this was a long exposure shot. I think 5-second exposure was given, so that we can capture both the city lights and the moon and Venus, and also the moon was a very crescent. So I think we can easily get a good view in short exposure.
And did you also have to adjust the image a lot, like post-processing?
Yeah, I did a little post-processing, like decrease the highlights and increase the shadows, and also increase some saturation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I always dream to create star trails over the Great White Run of Kutch. This is a remote location in the run which was only 40 kilometers from the Indo-Pak international border. We shot these trails under full moon so that we can capture the White Run in its full glory. We also do still wool photography during our night outs. It is always fun to add such a creativity in our astro composition.
What was the composition? The subject here?
Yeah, the subject, because so that later we can use such techniques with our star trails or Milky Way images.
Wow. Okay.
This is my first deep sky photo with my first full frame camera. A full frame camera gives you the best results over a crop sensor camera, as they produce less color noise and allows you to use high ISO values.
There is a question in the chat box. So what was the exposure time for the steel wool photo?
Steel wool photo, okay. Yeah, the exposure time was around 15 seconds, because most steel wools last for 10 to 15 seconds, not more than that. Yeah, and this for this Pleiades photo, I used my Canon 5D Mark IV and a Canon 70 to 200 f2.8 lens on a Skywatcher EQ5 single motorized mount. I merged 27 photos at ISO 5000 for this image, and I could obtain few nebulosity from the Pleiades. This image of the lunar eclipse was framed with dry river beds of Kutch. The crimson color of the rock formation was perfectly matched with the lunar with the colors of the moon. This partial solar eclipse was captured last year. Unfortunately, it was cloudy in Ahmedabad, so we decided to travel to Gandhinagar, the capital of Gujarat. There were no clouds in the sky of Gandhinagar, and we could capture each phase of the eclipse. My other friends who stayed in Ahmedabad missed the eclipse. The great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn that happened last year. I captured this image using my new 6-inch f5 Newtonian reflector. The two planets were setting behind the crane of the under construction site in Ahmedabad. The telescope's wide field of view allowed me to uh, capture both the planets and the crane in single frame of field of view. This is the ruins of a 10th century temple located in Kutch. It is either believed to be a Jain temple or a Hindu temple. This is one of the best places in Kutch to capture the northern trails. We shot these trails when the moon was present in the sky, so that we get an illuminated foreground view. I merged 198 images to create this final star trails image, and I used my ultra wide lens, which is Canon 16 to 35 f4. This place is also known as Vadi Medi. Uh, this is the cave located in the outskirts of Bhuj city. This cave is famous for being one of the shooting locations of a refugee movie. Here you can see the Cygnus Milky Way from the cave. This image was shot at a very high ISO of 5000, and later I merged 10 images in Deep Sky Stacker software to reduce the noise. Kutch is full of many scenic beauties. In the in the northwestern part of Kutch, you will find beautiful rock formations. This area is the best playground for landscape astrophotography. This image of the Cygnus Milky Way was captured in 2008 when it was setting behind these beautiful rock formations. The Cygnus Milky Way was sorry. I merged 10 individual images that were tracked on my EQ5 mount and stacked in Deep Sky Stacker software.
Can you tell me what this place is in Kutch? So, I mean, how can I find this place?
Yeah, this place is known as Tal Layari, and it is full of such sandstone rock formations, which resembles Arizona's rock formations.
Yeah, what is it called again? Kaldiari.
Tal Layari. Actually, it's not mentioned in Google Map, so you have to go with some local guide.
I see. Very interesting.
Here is one more Milky Way image from the same location, but different spot, showing another rock feature. The bright spot in the Milky Way is actually Jupiter. Here are two more photos from same location. You can see how dark it is, that you can clearly see the Milky Way with your naked eye. This place is really amazing to do fine art landscape astrophotography. For me, it required years long practice to achieve good editing skills to capture such images. This image of the Milky Way was captured from a village in northern Gujarat. Actually, I went there to document a wedding. During night, the sky was so clear that I could see the Milky Way easily. I grabbed my camera and tripod and took a couple of shots at high ISO and stacked them later to get this final image. This region of the sky is called Rohophuki region, which is the most colorful and beautiful regions in the night sky. I took this photo using my friend's Nikon D750 camera and Nikon 70-200 lens on a tracker. This image was captured from Nal Sarovar in Gujarat, which is very close to Ahmedabad. so you don't get a very clear dark sky here. This is my first detailed deep sky photo of the Orion Nebula, which I captured using my friend's astronomical setup, astrophotography setup, which was 150 RC telescope on EQ6R mount. This telescope was guided to auto guided to take long exposures. I used my friend's Nikon D750 camera for this image. Also, this image was also captured from a moderately light polluted sky, so we could not obtain much details. I do astrophotography because it gives me immense pleasure, because I believe when doing astrophotography or staying under the night sky, we are more closer to reality. In mundane life, we are less closer to reality and more closer to delusion. My future plan is to invest in a dedicated astronomical camera, or get my DSLR modified for astro, and take and do narrowband astrophotography. This image, the image you are seeing was processed by me and captured by Deep Sky West group in the US. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rahul, for sharing these amazing captures.
Yeah.
So I would actually ask you maybe to tell us a little bit more about the setup that you have used, because you have used many different cameras, lenses. I mean, why you chose them for that particular composition, and also maybe a little bit more about what kind of post-processing was necessary. So you can share some maybe experiences.
Yeah, sure. My first camera was Canon 550D, which I used for 2 years. Then I moved on to Canon 60D, which has a better image quality compared to 550D. And after using it for 1 year, I purchased Canon 70D, which was the latest camera in that time. I also invested in a wide angle lens, which was Sigma 10 to 20 mm. So using wide angle lens, you get more wider view of the Milky Way and star trails. For deep sky, I purchased a Skywatcher's 102 mm refractor. That telescope gave lots of chroma and fringes, but still it helped me to improve my skills of deep sky photography. After selling it, I invested in a Canon 5D Mark IV, and during that time I also started professional photography. So I also invested in many lenses like Canon 70 to 200 mm prime lens, which is mostly used in candid photography, and it is one of the best lens for for astrophotography, as it gives you pinpoint round stars.
So I just want to ask here. So you said that for certain occasions, like when the cloud, because of cloud coverage, you had to move to Gandhinagar or something like that.
Yeah.
So in that case, how can we change the setup? Like if it is like a telescope and camera and a lot of equipment, then what is the best method to travel light with this kind of setup?
Okay. For traveling, you can use any lightweight mount. Like you have many options like Ioptron, Skyguider Pro. There are many mounts available which are very lightweight and best for traveling. So during Gandhinagar trip, we used my EQ5 mount, which is also lightweight mount. And in Gandhinagar, my friend already has EQ6R mount. It's a very heavy mount, but he keeps it in his home only. So I think it was enough for us to capture the solar eclipse.
I see. And how do you manage like for battery or
Okay, battery.
support,
Okay.
charging, for example, if it
Yeah,
is in a setup like the RAN or like some remote area?
yeah. Because I keep 3 batteries, and I keep all of them charged while doing astrophotography.
Okay, so
So I think,
that is sufficient.
yeah, I think 3 batteries are sufficient for entire night.
Okay, that's a good tip. Um, do any of the participants have any questions? I don't see hands up. So what is your association with Stargazing India?
Yeah, actually, I joined Stargazing India back in 2004. Uh, yeah, Nishant's father, Mr. Narendra Gaur, helped me a lot in choosing my first telescope, and also getting me some astronomical magazines like Sky and Telescope.
Right.
Yeah, and so it was really helpful. It was really good idea joining them. Now as I'm in Ahmedabad, so I'm not in touch with them. But still, we are planning some night outs in future together.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So Mustafa is asking what you are currently doing. So maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about that.
Currently I'm into professional photography. I do wedding photography, architectural photography, and as a hobby, I do landscape, astrophotography, and wildlife photography. But after I settled in Ahmedabad, I could not get I don't get much time for night outs in astrophotography.
So what are your current what are your plans in astrophotography, for example?
Yeah,
Or do you just decide everything spontaneously?
yeah. So right now I'm using Canon 5D Mark IV. So I'm planning to get it modified for astrophotography and upgrade to other cameras for commercial photography. So my 5D Mark IV will be there for astrophotography only, and I'm also planning to invest in some lightweight tracker, astro tracker, like the Ioptron Skyguider Pro. Uh,
Okay.
and so it will also allow me to do auto guiding, so that I will be able to capture longer subs like 10 minutes.
Okay. So
And
you're, yeah.
and for now I'll be using only 70 to 200 mm lens, which is lightweight and ideal for wide field deep sky photography.
And for the subjects, do you have some in astrophotography, some plans already, or are you going to decide spontaneously?
Subjects
Depending.
like, yeah, actually I have prepared my list for subjects like some H alpha regions in the sky, like the Elephant Sprung Nebula, Rho Ophiuchi region, Orion's the entire Orion, which has Bernard's loop, which looks amazing in the wide field photographs. And
Okay.
also Cygnus Milky Way, and there are so many regions in the Milky Way.
And so are you also, do you also need to travel to capture these?
Yes, of course. Actually, luckily I'm in Ahmedabad, so Kutch is very close to Ahmedabad. So by driving just 6 hours from Ahmedabad, I can reach there and do the night out with friends.
Interesting.
My future plan is also to start comet hunting again using DSLR setup, because with DSLR we can capture more fainter comets, that we can hardly see using even using 12-inch telescope.
Okay. Great. So Shirin is asking, is there an online workshop for astrophotography and handling of telescopes?
Yeah, I think Many workshops are available, are there, but they are organized by foreign countries. Like in USA, many such workshops happen. But practically, I think you will learn practically very well, or you can also learn by trial and error. I also learned by trial and error, and also watching YouTube videos. Actually, I
Okay.
have also held 2 workshops in Gujarat level, which went successful, and the participants learned many things like start rails photography, wide field landscape astrophotography, and also they learned post processing techniques.
Nice.
Yeah.
Harit is asking, is there any Sony E-mount camera that you would recommend for astrophotography?
Sony E-mount camera. Actually, I don't have much idea about Sony, but I think Alpha series is very good, as uh, as they produce very less noise, color noise. Alpha 7R, I think, is very good camera for astrophotography.
All right. Are there any other questions? I think Vaibhav had a question, or did I see a hand up?
Yes, I'll just ask a quick question regarding the present picture that we see in the background. So the meteor shower, these are meteor showers, aren't
No,
they?
actually, this is star trails, but I used different method to stack them. So it gives you a comet like trails.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also wondering that there are too many comets in this picture to be true. So,
But that's not possible.
all right. So, are there any other questions from the audience? If not, then I will thank Rahul again for connecting with us. So Stargazing India, so there's a comment in the chat box. It was only possible in 1998, Leonid meteor shower. Yeah, true, right? Here says always loved your post-processing. So I think, yeah, I mean, even I would personally like to know more about the post-processing part because, I mean, your shots were really amazing.
Thank you.
So,
And sorry, I
yeah.
could not make a longer presentation as I was very busy in shoots and editing work. But
Yeah,
thank
I
you very much
understand.
for inviting me.
Thank you for connecting with us. So we will post your contacts on the LIGO India social media. So if anyone wants to get in touch with you,
Yeah,
and
sure.
yeah, and so we will have many more such webinars where experts will be sharing their experiences and expertise in astrophotography. So please continue to follow us on social media for more information on the webinar series. Thank you very much, Rahul. Once again, thank you to the audience who connected with us today. So
Thank you
yeah,
very much.
all right, okay. Thank you to LIGO India team and Stargazing India for being with us as well. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.